Good evening, everyone. Rad Raph, what's going on, man?
Hello? Come on.
Yeah, mine's not,
Come on. Hey, come on.
Hello.
Rabbit must have gotten loose. Okay. Cool. Oh, I'm just swirling.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Oh, yeah, really far away. Hey, we're live. William Chandler, hello. I've got the weird crown things now.
You do too.
Huh, crazy. Alright.
I wonder if it's a new update. And our
And
iPhones
we
just
just
hadn't
got it.
updated.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
No Doug this evening.
Nope. We said
John said it still looks funny with the new walls. So
Yeah.
Matt was supposed to bring a banner
oh shit, I forgot about that.
and decided that he didn't want to do that. So
You know, things happened.
Pulled Pork said y'all look cute.
Hey, thanks. I'm gonna be a little
We are.
sniffly for a minute, just so you know. I'm sorry ahead of time. I apparently touched something.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Nothing.
Alright, fine.
Okay.
I know the song.
Okay, good. You know, I know we've been discussing walking that line of you're younger and don't know things, so.
Jackson said cool TJ.
Thanks.
Joey's RC Life. What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Doug is here in spirit.
Sport.
John said Jordan, he forgets everything. Talking about the banner.
Dude. If you knew how much stuff I just.
Also, has that been posted?
What?
Did you post that video?
No. That was sent to you and then members only.
Oh.
So no one else knows what we're talking about. I don't know what that is.
William said, Jordan, what do you think about that LJ chat? So I.
The chat? We were just
talking
talking about that. Oddly enough.
Because I was talking about how everyone was freaking out that somebody was selling a body and didn't have to buy the files ahead of time, and he was trying to track down who sold that guy the body that is now reselling it. And I'm like, at what point do 3 people really need to buy the files to own this one body?
Yeah.
So
I don't think 2 people need to own the files to own their own body.
right.
The body looks massive. It's not really.
So it's about a quarter to a half inch longer or bigger than my TJ or my LJ that I built
Yeah, out of a New Bright.
out of a New Bright.
As far as like the cowl.
Width wise, they're pretty spot on.
As I say, thought we were discussing that the last time. They're pretty close. It's really not that big. I thought the same thing. You also got to consider Jordan has flat-faced wheels on this as well. Well, you do have like 450s on it though.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so sorry. I am dying.
Ooh, and I didn't even tell you this,
Oh boy.
but they've added some special guests to the LJ chat.
Ooh.
Any guesses?
I have a guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it YouTube people?
Yep.
Is one from Canada?
Yep.
Does the other one work for Vanquish?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
I get it.
And then Matt was like, "I would love to build one, but I don't think I have the time."
So did they just add them to the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
See, that's the
I
kind.
mean, unless they've. I mean, I guess. Like, all you had to do to be in that chat was to buy the files and message him and be like, hey, I bought the files.
Yeah.
And then he adds it to the chat.
That's the part of being well known that I couldn't or can't, or however you want to call that, do. That whole like adding me to thing, like no, thank you.
And if it wasn't for the fact that I hadn't printed it yet, and I wanted to see like some of the other people's, there is a group for it now that somebody created.
I have to add myself to that, see how fast I can get kicked in.
It's actually not that active. Like,
Well, that's
I
disappointing.
expect it to be.
For the amount of people that are building this thing, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Son of a bitch. I forgot my DeWalt.
You can borrow mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a lot of things to say about the chat, but like I don't want to also lose the access to it. So, but I mean, I did kind of speak up, like that it was kind of silly. But even then, like people were like, "Oh, that guy's a clown." Like not talking about me, but like the guy that was selling the body. And it's like,
Okay.
and the creator did explain that he doesn't understand the secondhand market. So like in his mind, you wanted this, so you built it, now you keep it. Whereas like that's kind of how I do a lot of my stuff.
But I thought all these were going to be like collector editions. Like everybody cares that much about him.
It's also he's translating both ways.
Fair enough.
So whatever we say, he's translating that to Korean, and then
See.
reading that, responding in Korean, and then translating that back to English. And so I'm sure some of it gets lost in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was basically saying that like he didn't understand the secondhand market because like that's something you'd want to build. Whereas like a lot of people, like that Dana,
Yeah.
he built shit,
Dana builds and sells a lot of stuff.
built it. All right, on to the next one.
I think that Pajero that I bought that was his, I mean, like, I think he got that maybe a year ago. So he had already gotten it, put it together, driven it, and offloaded it to at least one person.
Yeah.
And that was before May. So that's wild. That's what they consider crazy work.
Glenn said, "Why does any of that matter? Whoever printed it needed to buy the file. After that, it doesn't matter." And I think that's kind of where he's getting to.
Eventually.
Yeah, and like he did say when I questioned, like at this point, that one body in particular, the way it was kind of worded was 3 people would have bought the files
Yeah.
for that one body.
That's stupid.
And he said that he was, he goes that they shouldn't have to buy the files. So,
That's not what his original stance was.
exactly. So I think it's changing.
I'll say his original stance was everybody that owns one has to buy the file, whether it's 3rd, 4th, 5th hand, whatever. And that's just stupid.
Also, I think that one should be pretty self-explanatory on how it comes apart.
Okay.
The body gets kind of complex.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm gonna need instructions for that. Oh, hey, your twin just
Yeah, it was
comes
just sitting
out,
in there.
just comes out by the way.
So the LJ does look kind of goofy right now because it is on 419s. The body's not fully mounted, and it's got these big Highline fenders. But it also doesn't have any electronics or battery or anything in it. So it really needs to go down, basically laid out.
Keep going.
Yeah. And then it's also missing a cage, so it's short and long, and so it doesn't look right. Also, this hood doesn't look good either.
How many countersunk 3mm screws do you buy? Like 900?
Yeah. I bought the Monster K&K pack,
Right.
and then the 10mm, I had to buy an extra 100.
Jesus.
Well, because K&K you can either buy it like 25
25, 50, and 100, right?
Yeah. Well, so I bought enough. What I thought was enough screws for two bodies.
Not so much, huh?
Well, what it kind of fails to mention is like some of the 10 and 14 or 15 millimeter, which I used 14s, are regular like button or cap heads. Well, I bought all countersunk, so I have a ton of those.
Yeah.
So I'm placing another K&K order for more, well, just to restock.
Gotcha. I may have to tack onto that order.
Okay.
Get some of these 14 millimeter countersunks or whatever. I mean, I have some because I bought a monster builder bag or whatever the hell it is, but apparently I don't have enough.
William said it's only because Umagine has been pushing his files, which makes sense. That's probably one of their bigger files at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or if not the biggest. William said, and no new member only files. So these hoods
Only files.
were members only.
Oh.
This one and the hood you have.
Ah. I thought that was the hood that I was getting.
No,
Oh. JK.
I don't like that hood, so I didn't print it. But I have 3 of these.
Oh, okay.
So both of mine will have this hood. Yours and others will have the other hood. The one you bought was the other hood. It was not this hood.
Not the stock hood, not that hood, but the other one?
Correct.
I thought you wanted the other one.
No, I wanted this one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think if it didn't have those stupid little bubble things, I would like that hood more.
So I don't think very many people are gonna like this Jeep when I get done with it.
Good.
Because I'm going for a very specific Jeep that was built in like 08.
Uh-huh. Which, crazy to think about, was almost 20 years ago.
Right. And I was sitting on the couch this weekend trying to find, I was trying to remember who built it originally. The company no longer exists. And it's almost like he completely wiped the internet of this Jeep.
Really?
Yeah. It's the one I sent you that has more of like the,
Yeah, the gray one?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why people wouldn't like it, but I also know that people will just dislike
Well, because
it.
the cage is a little funky.
Yeah. Lost my doodle there.
And then it is on MTR, so I may have to.
This goes towards the back, right?
That's towards the front.
This is the same thing.
Glenn said he wishes he had a printer. He'd buy the file and then mass produce them and sell them for cheap as fuck.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't because, well, so far I've already spent like damn near $100 in screws for 2 of the bodies. Granted, I'm using K&K hardware, and not cheap Chinese shit.
Good for you for supporting our friend, though.
Well, I learned a long time ago that if you're gonna cheap out literally anywhere else, go for it. But do not cheap out on the hardware because you will, and the tools to apply said hardware.
Yep.
Bracelet Brett, good evening.
I do always add tires to that.
Yeah, tires. Should never
If you
be
cheap out on
cheaped out.
tires, you will be upset.
William said that he had words with one guy in there from Korea. Which if it was the guy from Korea, then that's the creator, I think.
Fuck him.
He couldn't get the magnets to work, so he just bolted it in. Well, I figured that I was gonna buy the magnets and see how it works. I've never had luck with mounting bodies with magnets, so I was just gonna bolt it in, and then the hood will be hinged and held down by some magnets. So hopefully that stays down. But that way I can. What? Yeah, exactly.
So how do magnets work?
I don't know. William's going to do a Jurassic Park themed one.
That's cool.
My brother suggested that for this one as well.
I don't get into movie cars and such, like TV. Like, the whole Fall Guy square body thing, I do not get. That truck's ugly as shit. And I don't think it's great. I don't know, but people on Facebook freaking jerk off over that thing, and I don't understand it. But anyway.
Dustin asked how I'm liking the Bambi printer. I love it. I've had...
I'm almost done. Sorry.
You're good. I thought about that because I was going to start assembling this other body,
Yeah.
and I decided against it because it's just going to be loud. Anyway, I've only had 3 issues with it so far. I loaded in some old PLA, I think, and it broke about that far in. But fortunately, it went all the way to the hot end, so I was able to pop the tube right at the hot end, and it came right out. So that was easy fix. And then I've had a couple of times where the AMS system, when it's retracting the filament, that it will retract like 99.5% of it, and then they'll be like, oh, we couldn't retract it any further, fix it.
Oh.
Yeah. So then I open it up and pull it, that far or whatever, and
So, quick question.
wham bam, it's done. Yes.
Do you have black sliders?
I don't.
Can we print some?
Can we print some?
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
We. I would greatly appreciate it if we could print some.
We can make that happen.
Awesome. We made it great too.
Si, senor. Glenn is talking nonsense again. K&K hardware, Jim's bearings, yep, good, and good tools. Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Pulled Pork said, in a VFD, do you guys run the centered gears or always change them to the machine gears? So Matt is probably going to tell you always machine gears.
In all honesty, though, I think there were really bad batches of the centered gears, because I've said this like on Facebook before. I don't think it's necessarily necessary. It depends on how you drive, and then other times it just depends on. I think there's so much in there, especially with centered gears, because they're not really. They're just. They're not made as tight as a machine gear.
Well, are we talking VFD or VFD twin?
I thought it'd be a twin, right? Because aren't all of the gears on a regular VFD? Oh yeah, that's right. They're not, because
The Pro had
the Pro.
machine gears.
So if you're, is he only talking about VFD or?
It just says VFD.
VFD, I don't think it would matter. The twin, I think there's so much stuff in there that has tolerance that some of them just, they do what's called a stack up, where it just gets looser and looser as things are on opposite ends of the tolerance. Because I had a couple of my original Phoenixes that I ran on 4S and was not.
So he's talking about a standard VFD.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter then, honestly, because that's what the Ultra had in it, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter.
Um,
Now, a twin, like I said, I would do it for, just in general, I guess. I would do it for peace of mind if you can afford it and you already have it apart. I guess maybe I wouldn't do it immediately if you didn't know you weren't, or if you didn't know you were going to like the truck. But that's just kind of how I do things anyway. If I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like something, I don't go balls out with it until I think I will. And then usually I go so balls out with it that I don't like it anymore and I get rid of it. Case in point, this TF2 down here.
Also, if you don't want to spend the money for machine gears, you can also just go with the machine aluminum bearing plates.
Yeah, I think those are a lot more effective than a lot of people give them credit for. By themselves, I guess I should say.
Also, Glenn said they can hear fine over the gyro.
Okay, good. I could always just paint these silver or something. Crack.
William said his breaks inside the AMS, and then he has to pull it all apart.
That sounds terrible.
Well, knock on wood, I have not had that issue.
That sounds
Horrible. Oh, another piece to my unlimited buggy.
nice.
Look at that progress.
I ordered one of those the other day, and it didn't get here because
For what accent?
the Capra. The cappers, the dirt cheap cappers I got at October last year.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's fine. I ordered black ones though, because blending.
Yeah. Probably a good idea. But
Yeah.
whatever.
So this.
Also, not to continue talking about the LJs, even though that is what we're working
Just literally
on.
what we're doing.
But they use so many more screws than are absolutely necessary.
I believe that. That's why I was kind of saying like I may just put mine together with some glue as well.
I mean, I don't even think that's necessary.
Really? Like at all? Oh shit! I don't have a gear cover. Fuck me.
Do you need one?
Yeah, I might as well do it while I'm here. I've got more at home. Actually, I may have some. I got one. Right here. Oh, that was a big one. We're getting somewhere because my eye itches less.
Oh, that's good.
And I feel like I'm not drowning anymore. So hopefully I'll be less sniffly here in a short time. Did you see the one that someone printed the bed cover for the LJ?
I did not.
No.
I'll be real honest. I have that chat muted. And I do my best to ignore it.
I immediately, any group I'm in that has a chat, it'll immediately show up in my little messenger thing, and I go to edit, and I go down and I unclick the box. Because I have zero interest in talking to people all goddamn day in 47,000 million groups.
What? And then on that note, it also drives me nuts when you are in a group for a specific purpose and people want to talk about
We discussed this.
random shit.
We discussed this last week.
Like there's people like, well yeah, we discussed that in like RC 4-wheel drive only type pages,
Yeah.
and people are posting their TRX4. What's wrong? It's 4-wheel drive.
RC 4-wheel drive, I think, is the one that I let slide a little bit, because if you don't know, you're thinking 4-wheel drive RCs. Like, I could kind of at least see where some people that just don't know
Yeah,
are coming from.
I guess.
I mean, that's a very rare occurrence of me giving leniency, so.
That's fair. But like people, they were posting pictures of like their kids and shit one day, and I'm like,
No.
I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's
That's not what I'm in this group for.
That's usually when I get booted. It's like, I don't give a fuck about your kids.
Fuck them kids.
I don't care about your kids. This group is for posting memes or RC cars or real cars or whatever. Speaking of which, talked to my buddy Bob last night, Robert. He said that he is currently working on his dad's car to get it done for that show, right? That's fine. And then we were discussing what he wanted to build afterwards, and I, for whatever reason, last night was on Marketplace looking at 80s Camaros.
Is that when you were sending us all sorts of stupid shit?
Yes. Yes, it was. All sorts of random dumb shit that would show up when I'm looking for a Camaro. Like a custom El Camino with one of the most god-awful, ugly front-end fabrication things that I've ever seen. But, yes. I really, now that, like, I know what the wagon's gonna be, I really want, like, a really well-handling something.
William said he will make us bed covers if you're interested in one. I'm okay.
I'm probably good.
Because my plan for this one is the cage will basically be like half cab style, and then I'm probably gonna mount the spare. It'll be like dead center.
I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so
Well, I'm also to the point where I have enough Jeeps that I kind of have to do different things in order for them to be like, did you just repaint that one? No, that's a different one.
yeah.
So like the other LJ already has the spare hanging off the back. So I don't really want to use the spare mount that goes here.
Yeah. That's fair. Ah, son of a bitch. I forgot to put the motor on. I'm gonna get this transmission in one day.
Well, fortunately, like it's just these two that, or that one piece you have to take out to put a motor in. Bill said any bitches about me sending him shit.
No,
You're apparently not sending the right kind of shit.
you send me a lot of shit all damn day. There's a difference.
A lot of people do that.
Oh, there's that too.
Comes back to being famous and all.
Yeah, right.
William said I really want the brute cab for it. So that's kind of what mine will be, except it'll be roll cage. Open.
Now, just out of curiosity, because I'm trying to make something different.
Well, be careful, because I killed the cat.
That's fine. I'm a dog person anyway.
Okay.
How would you go about ditching the windshield frame if you were going to make that whole thing too? If you're
Wait,
gonna, if you were going to make a cage, like an actual steel cage for it, right? How would you personally go about getting rid of the windshield frame? Or is that something that you would do? Could you just smooth this out like with some body filler and then,
Yeah.
or would it just look weird? My only thought was, since this comes up into this, it's going to be hard to knock down that edge. So it just kind of has to have the windshield frame in it.
So you could almost have the windshield frame, like print this full, like in full, like 100% infill,
Uh-huh.
and then lop it off here, and then bolt that on, and then just have,
Yeah.
like smooth that out. Because a real Jeep kind of has that anyway.
Makes sense.
It's a little bit more flat across, like from here to here, but you know what that blank wall needs in the back? A 70s van mural. So
I'm not opposed to that.
the other thing about this basement is it is still my basement. So I'm trying to
Like a wizard? That'd be cool.
no.
Yeah.
That's why I encourage Matt to bring his banner over, so we can put that over.
Or my stepdad used to have a Kawasaki from like the 70s, and it had a Viking riding a sled, like a snow sled, that instead of like Eskimo dogs or whatever, had polar bears pulling it. We could just have that. It was fucking rad. And by rad, I mean like every time I rode it, I looked down, I was like, that is something right there. Then I got off of it because I was gonna die for Interesting.
I don't know who Glenn was talking about, but he said most famous person I know in this hobby.
Who?
I don't. That's what I said. I don't know who he was talking about. He was-
Definitely you.
Probably you.
No, definitely you.
Bill said, "Does anybody make an '80s Jeep Scrambler body?"
I mean, I'm sure you could find one.
William said he has the file.
There you go. You better start buying some trucks, sir. You're gonna ask me these questions. Let's see, where did that go?
You know, Matt, I'm a little sad that your body is gonna come in mostly complete,
Uh-huh.
and so you don't get the satisfaction of
Satisfaction?
yeah,
that what we're gonna call
that's
it?
what we're calling
Is
it.
that what we're calling it today?
The
Okay.
satisfaction of building.
You know what? I tell you what. I'll probably end up taking it apart anyway, just so I can paint it all individually. So it won't really matter. If it makes you feel better.
That sounds terrible.
I'll send you a picture of me taking it apart. That way you can be like, okay. Now I know that Matt has had his satisfaction.
I will say the guy that designed this did a really good job with it.
Good.
Like, in addition to it looking good, but like, I wondered about these. So, this is the cowl, obviously, and then it's got screws here that just go into these. And I'm like, the fuck is that for? But otherwise, like, there's not a whole lot of strength right there, so those will just break off.
Yeah.
So he's run screws through them to like,
Pin it.
yeah. I was like, that's really cool. And then like the dash, I don't know where it's at. The dash like locks in. Hi Levi, I don't know if I already said that or not.
Hi, Levi. Are putting that weird handlebar on the passenger side.
No. Every time I accidentally click on that file, I'm like, oh, nope, delete.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So right here, there is
Oh, a handlebar.
a little bracket
Yeah.
that has like a T handle.
Uh-huh.
Like,
For your oh shit hang on bar?
yeah.
Gotcha. I'm gonna get one of those real quick.
Alright. I'll be here.
I'm tired of sniffling. I'm sure they're tired of hearing me sniffle.
We
Go
are.
upstairs, leave the buddy alone.
Did you feed the rabbit?
No, I will admit, I will know why.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I can breathe for the next 45 seconds or so.
Nice.
That's good. Do you happen to have a motor mount screw, such as such, handy? I'm gonna look for one, but I didn't know.
I do not.
I brought my box of like, well, these are all leftover. With a small one. I have a much larger one that I eventually need to clean out. And that's gonna be terrible.
Look at that. Second body already together.
All the chocolates.
I did learn, after putting the first one together, what parts need to be different colors and such.
Okay.
Because, like, the interior doesn't necessarily need to be painted, right?
I mean, okay, sure.
No?
I personally, yes, but I could see where you'd say no. I also am not a big fan of the ones that are printed in color and then not painted or bodywork, but
Right.
that is probably more of a personal scratch the tism, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that's not how it's supposed to be, and that's not okay, and kind of thing. But
Also, feel the difference in the seats. I think those are different ones.
feel the same.
Is that one lighter? These are the heavy ones. Those are the light ones.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm picking up two different ones, I feel it. Yeah. Oh, man. It's a big difference. Nice. Those special edition seats.
I just printed them with less infill.
Oh.
Because I'm like, these don't need to be that sturdy, considering they're going to have a metal cage around them.
Very true.
Did you leave the front bumper original size, or have you tried shortening it? I think it needs to be a little shorter. I agree, it sticks out there really far. But no, I've not messed with anything, changing anything. I'm planning on building front rear bumpers for them, roll cage, and sliders.
I don't know. I'm just gonna bolt mine together for ease and simplicity. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I'm not a Jeep person, so that really screws me, I guess.
The other thing I need to figure out is, do I want to try and 3-link the H10s?
Oofta. Are you putting those under the 475?
Right.
LJ?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, sir, I don't know. Oh yeah, that rubs real nice. I got that 58 twofer, you know, the mod .8 or whatever the hell it is in there.
It rubs?
Yeah, a little bit. Rubs that gear cover tab.
Just leave it off.
It'll, no, not.
Why?
I feel like I'm okay trailing with the Yellow Jacket because it's semi-protected. Like it's got the frame rail in the way and it's got the skid plate and everything.
Okay.
I feel like that open pinion spur is just asking for it.
So out of all of these VFDs that you have floating around, you use the cover on all of them?
I believe so, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not as big of a hooligan as you think I am.
Well, I guess I'm a hooligan then. Because I'm like, nah, not needed.
Yeah.
Alright, well that was fun. Put that one together. Alright.
Done.
400 screws later and it's almost done.
It's wild that it takes that many screws. I mean, I know 400 was a, you know,
It was.
a little bit of a stretch, but I thought the whole thing went together with the 110 little tiny boys that I had to buy. I was unaware that.
Why would you not use the spur gear cover? Because it's in the way. Go in your hole!
Well, alright, we're gonna do this a little differently. I only have the covers on the H10s, the others don't. Well, for once, Glenn, you and I are in probably the same boat of I'm not Jordan. Like I said, I'm not gonna drive this like I just don't have a brain because it's not a comp truck, but I just think that, you know, where we're gonna go with dirt and junk and mud and rocks and little tiny pebbles and grit. I'm not really looking to end my day because a little pebble got into the gears and foobarred them. I guess if that's those. Bitch, get in there.
Well, as somebody that has never experienced that,
It's terrible.
I guess I'll just keep pressing my luck.
There you go. Bitch.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, maybe more of mine do have the covers than I think, but most of them, like, I don't find them necessary. If I need to adjust the pinion or the gear mesh, right there. Don't have to take the whole damn thing apart.
I mean, I guess.
God damn it.
Agree.
Glenn, until you build a fucking buggy, I don't want to hear you tell me how to live my life.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn.
Said it right the first time. I don't know how to adjust these links.
Apparently poked the Millabear. Glenn.
Well, the guy that barely ever does anything with them is the one that's always giving the most advice.
That's fair. I can't lie, that's fair. Alright, why don't you want to do the thing that I need you to do? I need you to go home. Go to your home. This screw's about to get left out.
What is it?
This fucking watermelon screw.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bitch.
Bitch. Okay.
I don't need it. I don't want it.
Well, but you gotta have the spark gear cover.
Listen, the only reason this is on here is because right now I don't know if I can ditch it and put the battery somewhere else. Smarty pants. McGee.
I do like these little square nuts that are in here.
Yeah. You know, like, that's one thing that I guess I would have to give this guy. I can see why he'd want to make as much money as possible. Because after looking at this thing, it is really well done.
It is.
And I would want to get paid for that. However, I think he's taken it a little far.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Whatever. Whatever, buddy.
You got that thing together yet?
Nope, sure don't. I can't get this fucking motor covered.
Oh, it's the spur gear cover. Fucking you in there.
Yeah, it is. There we go. I think. Isn't it? Yeah. We're gonna drive her home. Home.
Sweet home.
Looks like shit.
It looks fine.
No, it has a gap in it.
Hi, Jared.
Mr. Hopper. Hello, fine sir.
That was a long screw.
Yeah, it's a big screw. It is a big screw. Alright, now I need to put the shocks on the back here, which I had zero interest in really doing, but that's fine. That's fine. There we go. Gotta find a bolt that's long enough, but not too long. Because, you know, PP things. There we go. There's one.
Also, I really don't like the little crowns.
The little crowns.
Yeah, these little guys.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I can do anything about that.
Mine says 0 XP at the top. Yeah, so does yours.
Well, it's because neither one of us comment. So we, even though we're moderators, which is whatever. I don't know. The amount of understanding of YouTube that I have is about 0.7%.
Glenn, did you not hear us talking about that earlier?
Yeah, stupid.
I think it was the Androids had it, and then our phones hadn't updated. Like, I think it's clearly something new.
Clearly.
Yeah, so our phones must have updated from last week, and now they show it. Dustin said, "Don't encourage them, Jared. Their heads won't be able to fit up the stairs."
Whatever.
That's true. It's close already.
My head doesn't fit up the stairs mostly because it almost hits the wall going up. But that's really not the same thing, I guess.
You done yet?
Almost. I'll be putting shocks on here. Real quick, bud. Sorry. This is some cool H10s you got. Where'd you get those?
Oh, some dildo gave them to me.
Fucking dildo. Gave them to you? Dang, that's nice. He's a nice guy, it sounds like.
He's kind of a dick.
What a nice guy it sounds like.
Took a perfectly good set of F10s from me and gave me these lousy H10s.
Took?
Yep.
I don't know.
At gunpoint.
That is that is a bold claim, sir. Okay, so clearly I need different rod ends, but
Matt's is on F9s. Mine, this one is on HD 44s, and my comp cut one, I really want to use H10s, but I don't know how that'll work.
speaking of getting axles from douchebags, though, these F10s I got from some ding dong ass.
What's wrong with them?
Huh? They're the ones I got from Ugly.
Oh. Oh, I thought you were talking about the F10s that you got from me in
No.
exchange for the H10s.
Sorry, the F9s, I think that's what I meant to say. Maybe that's what I can't remember. All I know is I'm finna have a slider and then I'm gonna have a roller here in an hour.
Glenn, what about D44s?
He's being one of those retards that's like, D44s? D44s. No context.
Yes. The F9s came out of, what's his nuts? Recluse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the F9s you had at It's Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when we were all sitting around going, I wish I could go spend money and I wish people would come spend money with me. And then I was like, I'll take those F9s, boy.
Oh, well, Dakota wasn't there, so
Decoder.
they came from you.
Oh.
William said people are using H10s. I've seen that, and I didn't want to spend the money on the additional files.
I wasn't too impressed.
With what?
H10s. I think that makes it way too wide. But that's just
Well, so I think I may use my high offset visions.
that would make more sense.
It may be those wheels
Yeah.
to suck them in, and then I don't know. But I don't really like this giant servo that sticks up.
Yeah.
When you saw 100% of that money, whether or not you held on to it long enough to do anything with it, or passed it on to Dakota,
These are facts.
different story.
Facts.
But you were the man that we paid money for, or to. Not 4.
That got real weird there for a second. I paid money for this man. He is mine.
Yeah, I think I basically just need to ditch the, well, fuck, I was gonna use regular links. But if I use it behind the axle, I have to go to either a stubby or push the front end out.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to trade a set of H10s for a set of F10s?
I'm good. I already owned them once. I don't need them back.
No Glenn. And I'm not trading aluminum axle F10 or H10s for F10s.
Well, you know Glenn. He's always right there to dick you over, pal.
Wouldn't mind paying full retail on that one.
Yeah.
Fucking dildo.
I've got a set. What are the SCX10 Pro axles called? Have we discussed that?
10 Pro axles.
They're just, yeah, that's, I don't have a name though. They're not like Air 44.
They're just 10 Pros.
I forgot I had a set. I don't believe that you've never dicked one of your friends. Screwed them over, maybe not, but I do believe you've dicked one of them.
At least one of them.
At least once. And I bet you didn't even give him the old reach. Fucking asshole.
What an asshole.
What? That's what he said too. What an asshole.
Hell nah.
Glenn sounds like a great guy. Glenn is a great guy. I've said multiple times, Glenn does a lot for a lot of kids and people and things, and does a lot of things that you don't see, that nobody posts about, stuff like that. And anybody that has enough patience to deal with
Glenn? Oh, people. Wait.
anyone that has enough patience to deal with the people Glenn deals with, I am.
Good evening, Rob.
He said either way is valid.
I'm aware.
Hi, Rob.
I deal with your ass on a damn near daily basis.
No joke. Hey, you guys ever seen this dumb shit before? Yep, sure have. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. I got garlic on my hands from the bread, but then also I got that like Proline Predator smell. So it's like garlicky fish.
Gross.
Delicious.
Good evening, Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. Take me home. When I build my EasyRC 118 Glacier into a Chevy K30 Dually, I'm going to get Dirt Grabber 1-inch all-terrain tires.
There you go.
I thought 1 inch was the 24 scale. I don't pay attention to a lot of this. Would that not look kind of small?
Well, I would assume that is probably going to... Well, the TRX 4M,
Yeah.
which I assume is probably roughly the same scale as what he's talking about, is smaller than like the Capra, the mini Capra. So,
I
18
deal,
scale.
yeah, I deal so little with the small scale stuff that. Fart balls!
but it sounds like you're going a much more scale route than
Yeah,
big tires.
big tires.
So,
If I absolutely was going to get a small scale one, I would buy one of those Glacier square bodies. I mean, obviously, but
because you know, could always use another one.
square body things. I'm well into double digits.
It's good. It's good for you.
Is it? Hell, I'm getting there with Jeeps. It's gonna be Square Body Jeep Branch. Just will change the name of the channel.
That's a terrible name.
The Square Body and Jeep Branch.
Yeah.
How about More Doors for More Horse Association?
It's getting better.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep wanting to go to 419 tires, and then I put 419s on something, and I'm like, maybe they're still just a hair small.
I know. That's why I think my Samurai like visually works well. That Samurai buggy I built, but everything else I try to put on 419s. I'm like, yeah.
Is this my red handle?
Yes, that's all you. I haven't beaten anything with it or anything. I've been respecting your tools.
Tommy said STX 24 Power Wagon equals tiny goat.
If you say so.
My problem is, I don't like working on the mini Capra. I can't imagine trying to work on 24 scale.
I can't do it. 419s look great on anything shorter than a 10.5 wheelbase. I mean, I don't know. I like the.
I don't know, I have at least one rig that's 12-inch wheelbase and
Yeah.
looks pretty delicious on 419s.
I liked that K5 I had on 419s, and it's a 11.5 or something like that. It's the regular wheelbase TF2, you know? By that I mean the short wheelbase one, you know? It's not the short wheelbase, but the regular wheelbase, but we'll call it the short wheelbase. Those?
Yep. Those.
Yeah. Yarp. I think 419s can look good. But I think I do kind of agree with Jordan where I think 413 is really
413?
or 43. I know what I meant. Fuckhead. I think that's a really good spot. In all honesty. I'm only putting these hubs on because I want to see it together. I already have other hubs coming. Should have been here today, but you know. I guess it just depends on the body. Most stuff I see on 419 just looks like looks smaller than stock. Well, I mean, 419s, if you scale it out even to ninth scale, is like 30 something, 35s, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Roughly, depending on what body it is and things like that, but. 35, 36s. I think when you get into actual tiny tires, like 315 kind of stuff.
I really need to take the springs off of these shocks so it'll just sit better.
You know what you need to do? I have a black set of 80 millimeters in my box over here. It needs 80s. How close is the shock tower to hitting everything? Is it built for those shock towers?
Yeah, looks like it.
Can you put extended ones on, you think?
No.
No? Okay. Because I have a set of
How tall are the extended ones?
an extra 6 millimeter or so, I think. Something like that.
Maybe. I also don't know if that's actually exactly where it sits or not. There's a little bit of room up there.
Yeah, I might have to try that.
Some dildo painted it or printed it in black so you can't
What
see
a
it.
dildo. Rob said, I think my Nissan hardbody at 12.3 looks right with 419s. Yeah. 419s are a decent sized tire. You just have to have the body for it.
I mean, that ride height, which is basically bumped,
Yeah, I like it.
409s look good.
Yeah. I really dislike those wheels. I'm not gonna lie. I think that really throws it off.
Well, maybe I'll put my trail readies on it.
That's a good idea. Not that I dislike those because I really like the design of that wheel, especially in a big fat lip. But I think just having those flat face wheels on it, just
Yeah.
I think in my mind that wheel means portals and weights and kind of thing to narrow up the truck, as opposed to I like flat face wheels stuff. Tommy, your F100 looks great. I don't think I saw that. Did you read that? Tommy said I like 409 in my SCX 10.3 with F100 body, 12.5 inch wheelbase.
I did not.
You can make a lot of things look good on a lot of different stuff. William said I think 419 or lower look better on scale trucks than have 475s. Yeah. It all depends on how you build it. Like, I would never put 419s on like a bigger buggy, I guess. That seems kind of. Fair RC is going to be coming out with a step-side square body Chevy. I don't know what scale that would be. I assume Fair RC is tiny scale.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure. Not sure. Let's see here. What was I doing?
Putting your tires on your chassis.
Yeah, I was doing that, but I was gonna do something else real quick. I don't know what it was. Oh, here's those 80s.
I have a set back there.
I might put 80s on mine just to fucking hammer. Would it be too much for 475s?
Well, I'm worried that. I mean, a little bit more in the back would be fine, but I'm already. The front's gonna be chucking 409s pretty hard.
Slizzard. Okay. I ran out of rear hubs. That's kind of annoying. Oh shit.
Rear hubs. What do you mean?
Yeah, for like scale hubs.
Oh.
I did put one in. Drive shafts in just so I can get this off. Got my drive shafts from Mr. Chris Mitten. Old Mitten's Kittens.
Dustin said he is not building power supplies for a slight change. What are you doing? Just hanging out?
Where's your 2.5 or 2? Thanks. I won't beat anything with it, I promise.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Colorado Adventure Club.
Hi.
Whoa, what happened to the basement? The basement got a refresh.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know when the last time you were on here, but there's a wall here now where Doug used to sit.
Doug's gone.
Got rid of Doug because we needed a wall.
Couldn't fit both. Couldn't work around it. He had to go.
Couldn't shift the table. Yeah, so I built a bedroom next to Nilla Bear Studios for my brother. So
No more.
he moved in, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Something like that.
Coming up on a month.
Coming up on your arm?
Nope.
What'd you say?
Coming up on a month.
Coming up on your mom. Gotcha. I'm ready to throw this cage under the table and work on something else. Dude,
I don't understand.
bro,
I don't understand.
as much as I love you in general as my friend, you are making these things so much harder than they have to be. It's the Mamba X. Well, get rid of it.
It fit in there.
For you, you got to think. West Virginia, Indiana.
You should also just throw a 2-in-1 in there.
Yeah. I suggest a Holmes 2-in-1. Big fan. Big fan, 10 out of 10.
Red Rap says his brother is replacing Doug. No. My brother will probably never be on here. But Doug is just not here this week. He was here last week. And then before that, we hadn't been live for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something
A
like that.
year and a half or something like
It was not that long.
that. Seemed like that to me because everybody was asking me.
Well, I would say it was a pretty good transition in that amount of time, whatever it was.
It was.
Dustin said he decided to make a printed box around his resistor load bank for testing the power supplies.
Man, I don't know what the hell you just said.
It also has a built-in timer and can be set up for 2 minutes, for up to 2 minutes. This way, I get consistent tests.
Wow, that's really cool, Dustin.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what you're doing, but if you're happy about it, I'm happy about it.
Did you ever
Found where my bearing went.
Did you ever find somebody to design your 18650s or whatever battery box?
You know, I found a 5x11 randomly yesterday and couldn't figure out where it went because it didn't go in the axles I built or anything else. It was in the back of the VFD.
Cody said he just got one of those 2-in-1s from Holmes. What are your guys' thoughts?
I like it.
I've not used one yet.
I have 2 of them that I bought when they first came out. And I'm a big fan.
He said he hasn't played with it yet. Gonna try to stuff it into a stubby kit. Wish me luck.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Good luck.
I think it's too big.
You could custom make a stubby.
You can. And man, let me tell you,
It sucks.
it's terrible. That is the least amount of fun I've had with an RC related thing in a long time.
Where am I? Glenn said he wants a Holmes 2-in-1. Got to sell the Mamba X and Holmes motor to buy the 2-in-1. That sounds like credit card.
Wait, what?
Figure it out later. He's got to sell his Mamba and Slate or whatever it is.
Is this Glenn?
Yeah.
The same guy that said, "Hey, I'll pay you for that Pajero that you want to sell" last week? Like he had money? Like he's one of them people from Facebook Marketplace? Like,
I don't even want to talk about that.
I was getting there.
Oh, we'll get there in a second. William said he's liking the Furetech 80 amp ESC for the buggies. I have the Rhino RC or whatever it is with a 1900, I think, kV. That's what's in my Pro Mod. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
Dustin said, Matt, you're a horrible liar.
I am. I am.
And I think this is from the Craig. What's up?
Wow.
I haven't hung with you guys in a long time. Yeah, you gonna pick up your RC cars again and come hang out with us?
As a child of the 80s growing up in the 90s, you mispronounced was up.
I wasn't gonna.
Wow.
Yeah, not doing it.
Not doing it. Not gonna do it.
Cody said he's gonna make it fit. Pretty sure you can modify the motor mount. We're about to find out.
I hope you do, and I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Rad Raff.
Tommy said that was the first time Matt has said that. I think it's too big. Rad Raff, I did not get that body. In fact, I may or may not have cussed out customer support.
May or may not. Could have happened.
Could have happened. But I got an email that I canceled my order. I'm like, no, I sure as fuck didn't. So I contacted customer support, and the guy informed me that it was discontinued. I said, when was it discontinued? Because RC 4-wheel drive has it on the site right now. And he's like, what was it? Horizon? I think, A-Main? Horizon.
You had a Horizon, right?
They're like, well, they discontinued it. I'm like, but it's on RC 4-wheel drive site.
Well, you're full of shit.
And I'm like, okay, so when did Horizon discontinue it? And whatever, a few weeks ago or whatever he told me. And I said, okay, so like 6 months after I ordered it?
Yeah.
And then he's like, sir, it's discontinued. Is there anything else I can help you with? I said, yeah. an RC 4-wheel drive Blazer body. We went back and forth several times on that one, but
Good for you.
yeah. So I still have that chassis, but it's probably gonna get taken apart and just scrap the whole Blazer idea. I'll keep an eye out for one. I'm not paying $160 for one.
I think the original short bed like show truck thing I have, that was the blue truck and then all it is, I think that's gonna become a K5, but I think it's gonna become an early K5 square body with no top.
Hmm.
I think so.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Give it a little.
Rob said, Cody, don't you have a reverse mount for the motor on a VFD?
Yeah.
He does.
Does he have a reverse mount, or is that the one that gets rid of the spur? Does he only have the one that gets rid of the spur and the pinion?
Well, yeah.
That's not the same thing. Because a reverse mount usually is putting that motor plate like directly up against the transmission, and then has it so it takes up the same physical space with all the same gears. What he has gets rid of the pinion and spur.
But yeah, but instead of having the motor face forward and come back.
I understand that. I know that. I'm just saying that one though is more made for portals and jazz, from what I understand. I believe that's what he was telling me.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong and stupid.
It's the delete kit. The problem is we lose some gear from ultimate stuffy.
Probably the ultimate stuff. Not to be confused with the Megan Fox thumb.
Yeah.
R.I.P. What are you doing up front here? Does the servo goes this way?
Yep.
Got the servo in the servo. Goodness, this is tight.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
Where'd I leave off at?
Ta-da.
Craig said that is some bullshit right there.
I just like. I find the interesting part the fact that Jordan called and got upset with him. I find that part interesting.
Well, So I think the frustrating part for me was I ordered it on sale.
Yeah. So you feel like he got like honey dicked, basically.
Well, yeah, and then I by the time that I called them, that was the third time I had called about it.
Mm.
The first time they're like, "Oh, yep, it's coming into April." So I was like, "All right before BTC, it's probably going to be built in primer, just like."
Fair enough.
And then Beat the Creek came and went, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be June." And then sometime in June, I think it was, they're like, "Well, fuck you."
I'm glad you find humor in it. I don't
Fuck
find
you, Red Rat, for bringing it back up.
I don't feel like I find humor in it. I find humor in
That's what pissed me off. That's what made me upset.
no.
Oh.
I think your wife would agree with me. I find humor in the fact that it's so bad that you got upset. It's like the thing where I told Doug, like, you can think me and Doug are assholes all you want to, but to just call you randomly an asshole is crazy work. But like if you said, "Oh, Glenn called Horizon and yelled at the customer service person," or I'm sure I called Horizon and yelled at the customer, you guys would be like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking probably." But just to hear you be like, "I called this guy and told him," like, it's just funny to me because you just don't get mad. Like, that's the thing. It's just
Don't tell me something.
motherfucker.
Don't tell me, "Yeah, you're getting it. Yeah, you're getting it." Nope, fuck you. You're not getting it.
God, I can't wait to do that to you. I do it to your mom too, though. I tell her you're gonna get it, and then I don't do it.
Cody said, "Oh, Rob said sounds like you need portals and the delete kit."
Hey,
To Cody. You said he drew up an interior for the Khalif chassis, about to upload it for those that have the files.
I really am thinking about building one of those.
Red Raft said, "Wild story, so if anyone else gets their order you get to call back. Does that mean everyone got a cancellation? It's on A-Main 2 right now. Is it on sale on A-Main?
I wonder if they sold it and then the tariffs hit and they realized they were screwed.
Yeah. Which maybe that added fuel to my fire.
Maybe. Here you go. I'm sorry, sir. This is President Trump's fault. Is that when you raged?
God damn it, Daddy, you did it to me again.
Jeez. Dang, it's already 8:50.
Red Rap said, sorry, Jordan, it's fine. I have enough other projects that I don't really need it, so.
I'll say, do you want that K5 of mine back? That body shell that I have? Or?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, it's on aiming for $147.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. It was on Horizon had it marked down to it was like $80. And you usually find people selling them that bought them for a project and didn't use them for right around $100.
Yeah.
And I passed on at least one of those at Beat the Creek because I was like, nope, still
one.
waiting on mine.
Got one coming.
And I don't need two of them. I don't like square bodies that bad.
Actually, that'd make 3 square bodies though, right? If you bought 2 K5s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This may need heavier shocks and air springs in the front.
Did you test the body?
Yeah, bud. Let's see what this bee looks like. Boy. Round that back. Is it all not fragile?
The hood and the seats are not attached. But
I need to put this somewhere.
Andrea said, I never get mad at customer service reps. Andrea would murder me.
Glenn said
Well, yeah.
I try not to get mad at customers. I know that there's a point of this isn't your fault,
Right.
but these are the normal fenders, right? These aren't the comp cut fenders?
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. Do you have the comp cut fenders over there?
Kinda.
Kinda. Maybe other side.
William, so technically the Horizon, anytime they have a back order or anything, they don't actually charge your card until it ships. So technically I wasn't out any money, but it was still annoying.
I don't know that I like that any better.
What do you mean?
Well, the comp cut moves this even further back, doesn't it? Or does
No.
it move? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh. Yeah, I really hate that. Never mind. So it gets rid of all of this as well. That opens up the front of the wheel well.
Just a hair. And then it has...
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Oh, they're up there.
It's fine. Thank you anyway, though.
You're welcome.
JK.
Craig said, sometimes it takes certain things to bring the beast out. I mean, I just didn't have time to tell Haley to call him and yell at
I was
him.
gonna say the funny part would have been if they would have upset you enough and called you names, and then she would have called back. Listen here, you sons of bitches! You do not tell him.
Exactly. Ryan, good evening.
Hi,
So,
Ryan.
hello, everyone. And Matt and Jordan.
Hello.
Is that the 3D printed Jeep body, the IJ? Yes, it is.
We're still gonna call it the LJ though.
It's an LJ.
Jeep is-
Until Jeep sends me a cease and desist letter, I'm still going to have the 7-slot grill. And it's still going to be... Technically, part of my TISM, that's more of a TJ6 because the rear overhang is not long enough for an LJ.
Would it not be a bobbed LJ? Is that could
No.
that not? No. Okay.
Because it's still long. So it'd be a TJ6.
Yeah, but you couldn't bob an actual LJ to
I mean,
this.
You could.
but you'd be cutting up things that are.
Yeah.
If you were gonna comp cut it, don't you think that would make sense to bring it in? Give it a little bit of.
Well, if you're going to comp cut an LJ, you're doing that to push the wheelbase out further.
Okay.
It really comes down to semantics, but
Are these glued on? Ow, fuck. These.
the shifters,
Yeah.
no, they thread in.
Do they?
Yeah,
I got right gears.
I appreciate that.
I try. I don't mind this now that it's like built. I kind of like it.
So I also have to. We have to swap it. Well,
What? What is? What do you mean broke your chassis? I hope he broke your nowhere. I don't know how, but
I don't either. Jason said, "Ha, Jordan is like the Hulk." I mean,
something like that.
not really. I just don't really get mad. Other than, ultimately, it comes down to I don't like stupid people. And you're pretty fucking dumb if you tell me, yeah, it's coming in a month. Oh, JK, it's coming another month. And then, ha, JK, get fucked. The other thing that irritates me is when somebody says, hey, will you take X number of dollars for something for the item you're selling on Marketplace? And then to be like, never mind, I don't want it.
So is this where the magnets go that hold the body on? Is that what these circles are?
Yes.
So I have to buy magnets too.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
so I would suggest there's also a bolt-on method.
Well, then how do you get the battery in and out? That looks like a pain in the ass. Yeah, I get it, but
Velcro?
with the little straps and guys, and you're pulling it up and out, and then trying not to shove the straps out and drop. I guess whatever. I don't know.
Velcro?
Sure. I think I'm gonna go with this way.
What?
I guess I'm gonna do the.
Okay.
But I also kind of like the magnet idea.
Well, there's a couple different size magnets. And then the seats are also supposed to get magnets. Which I don't really understand that.
That's dumb. I'm not doing that. That seems super stupid to have magnetized seats. I'm just gonna leave those bitches on.
I'm just gonna take those screws that are going top down.
Do bottom up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woofda.
Right up in there.
Give her the old minivan.
Yeah.
Marketplace is wild.
Glenn broke a inner fender nut
Oh, that sucks.
from trying to cram an ESC in that he doesn't even want.
Yeah, that.
So, shame on you, Glenn.
What about when someone walks on your grass? Does that irritate you too?
Walking on my grass. How close are they to my house? And
That's what I was
are
gonna
they doing?
say. In all honesty, knowing your layout, I would be a little irritated at walking on my grass. Especially too far in. Although I do understand if you were a little farther in. There's a fucking racetrack right here. I get that.
Right. Logan said, great, now it's never going to get finished. So Haley did yell at a lady that lives a couple doors down because, well, do you remember the big tree out front?
Yeah.
So she was walking between that tree and the house. It's like way inside
Yeah.
my front yard. And of course my dogs were flipping their shit.
Yeah.
And so Haley's like, "Can you not?" She's like, "Way to be neighborly." She's like, "I'm not your neighbor, bitch."
Not your neighbor, bitch. Ryan said, or someone driving in your grass. That really irritates me.
So
You've had that problem too, yeah?
my driveway and my neighbor's driveway are, I don't know what you say, 20 feet,
No, not
if
even
that,
that.
15 feet.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say more like 12 probably.
Okay, so pretty close together, and then his like goes over towards his house. Amazon has pulled in his driveway, stopped like right there at the edge, delivered a package, and then drove through my yard or our yards to pull out my driveway.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Interesting. What, we have floorboards, or are these just open?
I don't know. I gotta. William, is there like a front floorboard? I don't think so. I think you put your driver in there and I don't know.
I don't see Logan.
Well, that was a
Oh,
message.
she messaged you, okay.
Uh,
What all have you guys done? I'm late to the party.
we really haven't done much. Matt put
Oh, there's no floorboards.
Matt put transmission, axles, shocks, wheels, and tires under this one.
Well, when you spell it all out like that, it sounds like I've done a lot, but it was already pre-assembled, basically.
True.
I just put it on this chassis. I sold all of my VP chassis, my VS410 chassis, at Beat the Creek, and then my friends decided that I needed one for this, so I'm actually getting one in the mail with my body, but so that way I could have everything ready to go. I asked Jordan if I could borrow one, and he said yes, and then so now when I get the other one, I'll give that one to him, and I'll keep this one.
Yeah.
I gotta do this though. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want it gone.
And he does use long enough screws that it almost punches through the other side, but it doesn't.
There you go. There's two screws. Oh, there's
Oh,
one.
there's one screw.
This one. Oh, there. Be like Kirby and just not even pick them up.
There are a couple of washers down there. 'Cause
Washers are hard to pick up though.
Well, Haley, since I bought all the countersunks hardware, she put together a box for me. And because she labeled them. And so this one, she dumped all the washers in here. Washer these nuts.
So I have a question with this receiver slash down through there
Yeah.
to where?
Matt, you're in charge of desserts.
Okay. Do we get the whole pan? Oh Jesus. You guys are fat guys. Thanks.
Well, that's fucking rude.
I'll give you this one, just in case I got a little bit of weirdness in this one.
Holy shit! Why do we have?
Do we have half a pan of banana pudding? That's what I was saying. Here you go.
So Haley made banana pudding.
Did Haley like drop the other milk on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I called that.
Jesus.
Called it. You guys seeing this?
I spilled. But no.
It is delicious. Oh, and you brought us cilantro?
No. This is for the bunny. Stop.
Oh,
I see your arm.
saw your arm. Anyway, so Haley made banana pudding for dessert tonight. It was in a bowl. It's like this tall. And there are layers of, like on the outside, it's all decorative, layers of vanilla wafers, and then banana pieces, like all the way around, like beautiful. I'll post a picture later.
I like it.
She did
It's
a
good.
incredible job.
Yep.
Also, tonight's episode is live or filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Joey's RC Life said, for the price, I'll stick with the Hobby Wing Fusion and Fusion Pro. But I'm assuming you're talking about the Holmes. You can't run 4S on the Hobby Wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point of Holmes doing that.
Correct.
Yeah. My power system is temporary, so the ESC and receiver are in the rear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to lay this all out. Once
I think this might be
the ESC mount.
for your ESC. I don't know. Because the Instagram group is less about technical like tips and things, and more. I printed another body in this color.
Ah, I do love printing bodies in different color posts. Look what I did in a different color. Let's see.
Ryan said he'll take whatever you don't eat.
Yeah, that probably won't be an issue. It is quite delicious. You're gonna go wash your feet?
Buy shoes.
Oh,
Why?
I was gonna say, if you don't wash them, you make more money from what I understand.
Because
Just
they
saying.
have the shoes that I want at the store, and
Ew.
I had a $10 off coupon.
Oh, so if you can save $10, you might as well go spend 40.
I'm gonna spend a lot more than 40.
I would say I wish there were 40
Girl,
bucks.
girl math. This is the second time you've let girl math win.
Jason said the Hobby Wing 2800 Axe system can run 4S, I believe.
I didn't think it could, but
Right, but then you have a separate ESC versus the 2-in-1s.
this means I'm gonna need a freaking extension or something.
Probably.
Also, have you looked into where you're gonna put the cage mount up here? Or are you gonna just take it to the top of the pillar, or are you gonna go all the way down? Or?
I haven't gotten that far yet. Because technically the cage has a little pocket for it. But I thought about drilling that out.
Yeah, I saw that. And going all the way to the floor.
I may just do like how my LJ is, or TJ6, and the front doesn't, it's just kind of there. Mount it in 4 spots in the back.
I think personally, I don't want to get a false sense of security where the cage is just sitting on the body as opposed to actually connecting to the frame somehow. So that's kind of where my brain's at. But I also don't want to connect it to the frame in 6 different spots, and then to get the body off, I've got to undo that, plus all the other shit to get it all on done.
I think you'd be fine mounting it to, at least in the back, to that body.
Yeah.
Because there is the like rear quarter, there's the like top like rub rail or whatever, and then the interior piece all sandwiched together.
Fair enough.
Craig said, "You ever use Exalt motors?"
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Justin said, "If you need a custom specific length servo cable, I might know a guy."
I do too, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because he's so far away. It's the only problem.
Are you leaving too?
Okay, lady, bye. Do you have your clean underwear on? You could always get into an accident. You want to make sure you have clean underwear on.
You gonna Pooh Bear it upstairs? William said receiver goes in that box behind the servo. His idea was to use a 2-in-1. Yeah, makes sense.
See you later.
Tommy said he's going to give Three Brothers a shot in his optic and black jacket with the beekeeper.
Go with a yellow jacket.
Yeah, get a yellow jacket with the beekeeper. You don't need.
The black jacket, the only thing you're getting is a sensor wire, and the beekeeper doesn't use a sensor wire.
Right.
So you're going to be paying. Oh, never mind. You already heard about that black jacket off of me.
Oh.
It is what it is. Now that I think about it, you can just roll that sensor wire up. You don't have to use it, or it's not going to make a difference if you don't use it. I guess is what I should say. I forgot that I told that to him.
Holmes 2-in-1s are 4S capable.
Yep.
That's what we were saying. That's why Matt wants those instead of the fusions.
Yep.
William said do four bolted spots to the frame.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat my banana pudding first, and then I'm gonna go look at. Or I'm not gonna go, but then I'll be looking at what to do with chassis and such. Oh, got these.
Ryan said, what about doing a flip up body in the back and have one M3 screw and lock nut?
Honestly, I don't think the way this is seemingly engineered and such, I don't know that I want to deal with trying to build flip up jazz. It's just, this is already so.
Because I think technically you can, instead of using the magnets that he designed it for, you can just use screws. So there's 2 screws in the back, right behind the shocks. And then there's 4 more up here. So I don't know if you run screws through here. There's also 2 things here that you may be able to screw into. I'd have to look at it. So I think it's just going to take some thought process to make it work.
It's 100% going to be which one is going to suck less.
Yeah.
I like the idea of pulling the body off because of the magnets. And I assume that 6 of these magnets, decent sized magnets for sure, will hold the body on fairly well. However, solid mounting it, I think, gives it a better chance at if you throw it down a hill somewhere, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Glenn and Craig are talking about truck that are racing things.
Oh yeah, because he was asking about pan car stuff.
William said I put magnets in the rear and 4 bolts on the side. Tommy said heading to Culver's to get a concrete. Anybody want anything? Dude, you could make this into ice cream and I'd eat the shit out of it.
Yeah, this is good. So Williams to like use the magnets to kind of locate everything, and then the 4 screws. Makes sense.
Well, I think the way I see it is, I want to make it easy to work on, easy to assemble, disassemble, and then reassemble. You know, like whatever. Because I don't, with the platform the way it is. I mean, it's already on a VS410, so this is all going to work. I know how this is all going to do. Unless something terrible happens, once I get this all nailed down, I shouldn't have to take the body off.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
And then, because we'll do the hood hinges, and you swap out your battery. The end.
so what's up with the hinges? How does that work?
They go here.
Yeah, I know that, but like, where do you get them?
I have some. I think they're the right size. If not, we'll have to order them. But
Okay.
And then we have to swap out, I don't know which one, which core support you have, but the ones for the hinged hood, you have to get rid of these little nubs. Otherwise they were screwed in.
So you screw the hood down, pull the body off, or you screw the body down, pull the hood off. Battery change stuff.
And then there's a little mount, I think, for here, for magnets. And then they go 3 little magnets in there.
Gotcha. I'm kind of ready to get mine. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go with the TJ color because I don't want red, yellow, and blue and black and white. Jeeps up until JKs are really stupid.
Paint wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we were talking about.
Right.
Paint wise, for sure. I guess after like the CJ, like I know the scramblers and stuff, and like the CJs came in brown and you know like metallic colors and blue and all that stuff, but like it's like once they swapped from the CJ and went forward and for 20 years, they were just like, you know what? It's almost like Henry Ford. If it ain't black, yellow, red, blue, or white, piss on it.
Well, my favorite Jeep color was ruined when I learned that they also put it on the PT Cruiser. My Inca Gold.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that color. And then they put it on PT Cruisers. I'm like, nah, it's not as cool.
My favorite is definitely the color of your YJ. The Bikini.
Yeah. That's not a
Oh no, I'm just talking about
Jeep color.
Jeep color in general. There's a Renegade, I think, somewhere on the south side down by me, and I see it a lot. And it's always on point. It's always very clean, always very sparkly. And every time it goes by, I'm like, damn, that is a pretty color. And I keep driving my basic ass white car.
Ew.
Yuck. Well, mostly white. 75% or so.
And this one also has fender flares
Ooh.
to match the fronts.
Nice.
And
Can I see the other side?
well, so yeah. I wasn't sure where it was at.
Well, so, yeah. I could see how that would be.
So I feel like the front goes down past the body
Yeah, it's weird.
because it gets into the rocker.
I kind of like it up higher.
I do too.
I kind of want to glue mine there and then hog out the body to match. So, dude, those take screws?
Yeah.
That's silly. Not just screws, but 1, 2, 7 of them. 7 tiny screws on one little fender flare seems excessive. So do you have to drill them?
So
Or how does this?
yes, I'm gonna have to pre-drill all of these holes.
Fuck that. Nope. I'm out. I'm out on fender flares.
You have to do that for. I mean, unless the holes print better, because like the shifter has 8 screws down the sides.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, it's getting 4. Maybe. It might get glued.
Well, so it's held in place. And then I also have to modify the transfer case shifters because they're not correct.
How so?
They should be next to each other.
Instead of on top of each other.
Yeah. How are you supposed to
Yeah.
shift them?
The diggy dogs and stuff.
So yeah, that's not correct. Tube fenders would look better than the fenders that's on it now.
I don't know.
Wait, what? Those are tube fenders.
These?
Yeah. And then these are technically, you probably can't tell, but there is a tube. I mean, they look like legit tube fenders. And then these don't look like it on top, but like it's underneath. Like there's the tube.
Yeah. I don't know enough about Jeep things. I would never have considered those tube fenders because it's not like to a non-Jeep person. I think a tube fender is just a tube, like way closer to the hood line, kind of like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, have you seen the other fenders?
I've not seen anything that you haven't shown me. So,
Oh well. Well, stare deeply into my box.
I always do.
So there's the other. These are probably the ones you're getting.
Ah, I see. I don't know. You know what? I also see where that one thing came into. You know, what we were talking about earlier. The
Yeah, that.
yeah. I like these better. I think. And they're narrower, right?
Right. So
These narrower or those narrower?
these are narrower. These are like that.
Something like that. What do I do if I hate both options?
I guess
Jeeps
you,
are stupid.
I guess you figure out.
Which one I hate less?
Yeah. Ooh, there's the half doors. It's the passenger side. There's the driver's
Are
side.
they supposed to, like, would they really be textured like that, or does that need sanded?
That needs sanded.
Why would
So,
why wouldn't you print them the other way? That way.
because it has the recess. So this is one of the over-engineered things. Because, that would be fine to have as one piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. We can't do one piece for half doors. It has to be 3.
That seems excessive.
There's an outer skin and a inner door panel.
See, I never would have put door panels on them, I guess.
Yeah.
Once again, not a Jeep guy, so.
Gotta reach really far into my box here. It's got a tailgate.
Oh, I do like that. I like it. What else you got in there?
A whole nother Jeep body. Here's the corrected core support. That needs to go on.
Well, what does this do?
So it doesn't have the little nubs that this thing has.
Oh, okay, so this is the magnetic hold down.
Right,
screw
so it
hold
goes-
down.
Yep. Yeah, that one.
Okay, here we go. William said, yeah, it makes it easier to line up, yada yada yada. They had that tan color, apparently, for TJs. LJs? No, I don't know. Yummy. Ryan
Yucky.
said, I think some high clearance tube fenders would look better than the fenders it's on now. And then William said, Jordan and the slicer make the rear flares like 2 or 3 millimeters tall, and you'll have a template to make the holes. Genius.
That is.
Guy's so smart. Ryan said, okay, then guess they look different from where I'm sitting.
So, here.
I just don't know what the hell I'm looking at whenever Jordan says things, so.
So there
Don't
they
feel too
are.
bad.
I don't know if that helps any. All right, where are we? So here's.
We're in your basement. Where I swear I'm not actually chained to the table by my right ankle.
So yeah, so you got the
That's a lot.
outer skin and the door panel. Plus, in addition to that, you've got the handles for front and rear.
So at what point do you maybe realize that this body doesn't need to weigh 74 pounds? And maybe all these parts are unnecessary? Does that come into play somewhere? Or? Yeah. We just pretending like that doesn't happen? Or?
What parts?
The inner doors. You know, like just shit like that.
Those aren't going on.
Yeah, I'd already. As soon as I put the door skins on, I was like, oh, I kind of like that. And then that's it. I don't want maybe the door handles or something, but I don't know the crap inside.
Oh, I'm not even put the half doors on.
Oh, you're going full open door?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I like the half doors. I'll at least go that far. Should those be body color just before I start painting everything, or are they gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay. There shouldn't be like correctively black or.
So
By
you'll
the
see.
way, go ahead.
Good. All right. So you'll see a lot of people. All of the armor. So the rear quarter,
Mhm.
skin, the rockers, the front, like under the windshield.
Mhm.
They do all of that in black because companies sell the armor in just like textured black.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of them are doing that.
I'm not a huge fan of the armor, so I'm already. If I did anything, I think what I thought about. If I do anything, what I thought about doing, there we go, was using that aluminum sheeting stuff that I have, and doing a side panel. I don't know. But then that seems very unnecessary.
Yeah. So the only downside to because I kind of thought about just filling in all these holes
Uh-huh.
and just rocking it as is, but some of the parts are made certain thicknesses because they're expecting to have that outer skin on it.
So does the outer skin, does that just look like the side of the Jeep? Or is that supposed to look like the armor?
It's supposed to be the armor.
Gotcha. So what screws in from the side that would need the extra depth of that armor?
So like you're mentioning running the half doors.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like the door handle would stick out real far if you did run that. The tailgate may be too thick and stick out off the back.
Gotcha.
Um,
Because while I do understand the point of armor, I hate it. So I have about zero interest in putting it on.
Rolled down real far into my box.
Did it? Digging around in your box real far, huh?
So like, it has the little inserts for the fenders,
Oh, no. That sure
and then
does.
they have different outer pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a solid piece for that?
With the flare,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Is that like a...
Well, I could probably print this for the other fenders, because the other fenders don't have the vent. So you could, yeah, we could probably make it happen. I have so many files for this thing, it's
Oh, I get it.
ridiculous. So I think we can mix and match and
I think I'm just at a point where a lot of Jeep things I see as those like Megatron looking fucking things.
yeah.
I
That's thanks to
JK's.
JK's.
Yeah.
And it didn't get any better with JL's.
I understand that.
And then people are like, well, I want to look like that, but I can't afford a JK or a JL. So then they marketed it to all the TJs and YJs as well.
Yeah.
So you can get the stupid shit for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan said on his Axial CJ, he did the rockers in stainless steel. So that's kind of what we're talking about doing. So like it has, back to my box. So it has rockers.
I don't hate that. I'm not sure I love it, but I don't hate it.
So it's got, they come with sliders that have a little bump out. And then the comp cut body, oh, they're up there maybe? I don't know. Anyway, these are supposed to be tubes here with plate like on top. And then the comp cut ones are like all filled in. So they're a little different style. Found them in my box. Nope.
So does this go?
How many sets of these do I have?
This goes here, like under.
Ooh. One of these is for the regular fenders, and one of them is for the flared version. So stupid. What do you think?
So this goes here under that, and then your little grill piece doodad goes over. Like so. Once again, I will 100% give this guy well thought out things, you know.
Take it easy, John.
Bye, John. Also, either people miss Doug, or they don't give a shit about this LJ.
They don't give a shit about this anyway.
That's fine.
Because that's what we've been talking about, literally in the entire
I'm
time.
okay with that.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, that we're talking about LJ things. Yeah. I like how you immediately decided it wasn't Doug, by the way.
I mean,
Either people miss Doug or they don't want to see the LJ. It's LJ. They don't miss Doug.
that's not what I meant. Sorry,
I know,
Doug.
I know, but it was funny. That's whatever. Like I said, I make $0 off lives. It is what it is. You can hang out or not. See, we're down to 21. Technically, we're down to what, like 19 minus me. And you.
God.
Probably might just be time to go home. It's 9 o'clock. So.
What? LJ is the best Jeep ever made. That said, it's the truck.
That's driving people away. I do like TJs.
Well, I think it'd be real easy to not put the ass in pieces on and
Show it all forward.
well, I was just thinking like dovetail them and do just full tube chassis bits. Bye, William.
Hi, William. It would be really easy to snag this hood and grill as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Maybe the cowl and just
Yeah.
go from there. Especially with this hole here. Because you could do a full cage but then have like some sort of something that comes down to like hold that or whatever. I don't know. I don't have one, so I'm just speculating. I do like having all the parts. Like I like you having all the parts, I guess is what I should say. That way I can kind of figure out beforehand. Because I assumed that I would like the comp cut fenders better, and I do not. So I already am happy with these.
Well, I think that they also have, so like this one's more of the boxy style fender opening. I think they have a round one.
Oh, no, oh, they're like that. That was one of my problems. As I was looking at this, I did kind of think, man, it sure would be a lot cooler if it wasn't so square. This bitch is heavy. Like not, oh my god, but it's not light.
Yeah.
For sure. Close enough. Yeah, I'd like more of like a.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call that, but radius.
Yeah.
I'm learning my Jeep terms, you know. It's not bad. I have a feeling that mine's gonna look exactly like this for Rocktober, though.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's definitely a nice design. I agree. Oh boy. Colorado said I like removable hardtops. Oh yeah, for sure. I kind of thought about that too, but I don't want to scratch build a top for it.
He's got one coming.
He has a top for it,
Coming at some point.
so just don't piss him off before you get that.
Yeah.
Usually there's just one. There's just more going on than just the one truck getting worked on, if that makes sense. That's fine. Ryan said I had a hell of a time taking the screws out of the rocker and my optic to put a underdrive. Oh, is that what I said? Rocker, whatever. Put an underdrive ring gear in the spool. I ended up drilling the screw head. Jesus, I'm using pliers to take the screws out. That's crazy. I thought the optics. Oh, it must have been a kit, right? The kits come with machine gears.
I think so.
I bet it's more finished than my buggy for October. I would have put money on that to begin with, because you're just going to have a really expensive cage just sitting on a shelf for the next 3 years.
Just think, I could have had another buggy instead of building Glenn one to put in under his
shit,
desk.
right? You wouldn't have money though. I have a RTR that I got. I thought all the optics came with the one piece, but okay, I guess I was wrong.
I think they updated that.
Okay, because they were all destroying themselves.
I think so.
Gotcha. Well, you know, Glenn, I would say you were right, except for when I do these by myself, I always have more than 17. And it's just me doing one truck thing or, you know, whatever. But
Wait, what?
he said that I bet the reason the numbers are down is there's more going on usually. But that's not true, because if I do one by myself, there's usually 30 some odd or whatever, or more than this. And
Maybe it's because Glenn's commented so much.
probably.
Maybe that's what it
It's
is.
definitely Glenn. Let's just block him. Let's see. Put user in timeout. Hide user on this channel. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, well, I don't know then. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. If people want to hang out and watch us talk about Jeeps, that's cool. If they don't want to hang out and watch us talk about Jeeps, that's completely fine as well. You guys catch any of the Festival of Speed last week? You guys into any of it? I was just joking, Glenn, you big crybaby ass motherfucker.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, Rad Raff, I don't know what Festival of Speed was, honestly. So
Yeah.
I didn't get any of it, no. I'm not sure. Not sure what all it is. Glenn has killed your life tonight. Oh.
The people have spoken.
The people have spoken. Are you into any racing? I mean, like even at a low level, kind of just looking and stuff.
Not really.
Me either. I don't really watch a whole lot of.
I enjoy watching And like, I mean, it's just here and there, but like Cletus
Yeah.
doing drag racing bullshit.
I like watching drag racing stuff. But it's not like
I mean, when War in the Woods, I watched that.
Yeah.
Like,
I've gone
all weekend long.
Yeah, we've gone to that too though, so
I've not been.
you haven't I thought you had.
No.
I've been to that. Things like that I like going to. You know, that's kind
No,
of cool.
both times that I've tried to go, it rained.
That rains every year, I think.
So
I used to like basically like full size touring car, you know, that kind of touring car stuff, like back in the day when they were super cool. I like honestly the thing that I've gotten most into recently, and it's because of how I guess my brain works. I've really gotten into like 70s and 80s NASCAR stories and shit, and hearing about how people like, you know, did things and the way that I really like the way they cheated videos. That stuff's really super cool.
oh my God, quit being a crybaby bitch, Glenn.
Yeah, no joke, dude.
He left and then complained about being
Oh
not
my
watching.
god, shut up. King of the Hammers coverage online when it happens. We do.
I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do collectively back and forth.
Well, especially the days that I work from home, I have it pulled up.
Work from home on those days too.
Yeah, I do actually. But I'll have it pulled up on my personal laptop
Yeah.
for the day. And then even at work, I have two screens at work, and then I don't use my laptop screen. But for King of the Hammers, I'll usually make it 3 screens and.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch a little bit of it. More so than anything, I wait. Seemingly, we all three have different schedules. Well, 4, 5, however, depending on what we're in. We all have different schedules. So, like, it seems like as I'm actually working doing something, Doug has a free minute or 5 or 10 or whatever, and we'll bring up something. And then, like, when I'm free, you know, like, oh, this is crazy. I saw, you know, like this happened or whatever. And then I'll go back to work. And then you kind of chime in, or like Logan or whatever.
I'm just always there.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though. You go, oh, yeah, I saw that guy that did the thing with the buggy, you know, like whatever. And then I'll have to go look it back up. But
Yeah, because like while I'm working, my phone sits like this.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess I'll take a few minutes and look at this.
Yeah.
And I see, oh, it's just Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn sent us another video.
Hey, well, yeah, I was driving and I went around the corner and stuff and about hit a possum and then.
Poor Glenn. Also, there's literally nobody watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say
us.
I can hang out for a little bit, or should I can go home and tell you the truth?
I could go to bed.
I'm down with that. Fuck it. All right, let me clean up all my shit. You got all your tools, right?
I think so.
I want to get off the internet so that way you and I can sit here and talk for the next 45 minutes and make getting off the internet absolutely.
Dustin said, Rob Guy's Garage on YouTube has been interviewing all the old truck pullers. It's really great hearing their stories.
I will definitely check that out.
You mentioned like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, one channel I've gotten into was Tom's Refurb. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, you mentioned like old NASCAR stories, like where they were, like all the different ways of them cheating and shit. That was always cool.
Yeah,
to
I
listen
like
to.
that. Like one of them was talking about how like in the late '80s they had a Regal, I think it was one of the other. I think it was a Skull car, and they had like a hydraulic ram in the trunk hood. So as they were going down the straightaway, they could hit this lever and it would suck the trunk lid in, and the whole spoiler would lay down and let them go faster, and then they would put it back up during around the corner, which seems like a lot of damn work. All the whole race just to be sitting there just back and forth, but whatever. But yeah, Tom's Refurb is like, I bet this kid's maybe in his mid-20s, maybe, and he's doing exactly for me personally, what I think the draw would be for a one-to-one car YouTuber where you just have 9,000 freaking cars because your videos are constantly, hey, I bought this piece of shit. Now I got it running. Let's go drive it. He's got like 4, 5, I think, first gen Mustangs. I think he just bought a 69 Mach 1 the other day and got it running and stuff. And he's got a crew cab step side LS truck. I think same, like a new body style. And he's got a pair of Jaguars he just bought. Called them Larry and Terry. One of them's V8 swap, the other one's an original V12. So he made up this weird like love story to go. It was kind of weird.
All right.
Yeah, but like he's got 3 or 4 of his friends, and they had a best daily driver shootout the other day, and one kid drives like a 2002 Sentra, but it's a neon, or not a neon, it's a Nissan Sentra like GTE R spec or something. Like it's got this huge long name, but somehow it's special. I don't know, whatever. His dad's on there, and his dad's like a newer Mustang guy, you know, whatever. And so it's kind of cool. I like that, mostly because it's new. But I watch a lot of YouTube more than I watch anything, really.
Yeah. Ryan said, really liked your video, Matt. Ingen Weld wheels and those trucks are looking amazing.
Well, thanks. I'm having fun building them, man. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun building shelf queens, lately. It's like hard body shelf queens and tube chassis is really all I want to do. And I like my We Rock stuff, but that's tube chassis things.
Yeah.
So I'm just finding what I want, and I've taken a lot of the pressure off of myself. As I changed Mailbox Mondays, I took a lot of pressure off myself of like, this has to be done by Monday. And I kind of felt like, I was just phoning it in. So now I just, whatever. It's getting done when it gets done. I'm not fretting about it.
Do you think Ingen hates Thanksgiving being from Turkey?
Maybe. I don't know if he wouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving, right? That's an American thing.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Turkey though. If it wasn't so close to all the shenanigans going on over there, I think it'd be cool to go over there to like Turkey and Greece and things and see it, but it's a little too close to the hot spots right now. That part of the world got a little spicy lately, so.
Yeah. A little bit.
A lot of it spicy. I'd rather be welding is a really good fab channel. He builds some really cool stuff. Check him out. I will check that out. Turkey grease.
Jesus. No, it's my bedtime.
I'll check that out, Ryan. I've been watching a couple different people. I like Fab Rats stuff every once in a while. Do you watch any of Fab Rats?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I really don't watch that much YouTube.
I watch I watch more YouTube than I do anything across. Like you could add up everything else I watch, and it still wouldn't be as much as I watch YouTube.
Yeah. I watch your stuff. I watch
I appreciate that. But
Cletus, you're welcome. And I've been watching the Tendero podcast.
Lennon and Lucas.
I don't know if we've talked about that on here, but
Our friends Lennon and Lucas do a podcast every week. It's Mondays, right? No,
they drop on Fridays.
they drop on Fridays. Okay, good remember.
So it's just them.
Yep,
They're just two goofballs that,
I like those guys.
yeah.
We've also known London for
Yeah, it was really weird. What was it, first or second episode, they talked about how old they were.
yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, these
Yeah.
are children.
Yeah, they were really young whenever we met them. I don't even think they were. I don't even know if London was 18 yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, we met him up there at Jason Grimm's place. Ryan said, I love Fab Rats, FJ, Rockcrawler, even more since he put 42-inch trucks on it. So I watched him back when he used to make derby videos. He is a awesome fabricator. And randomly it said I was subscribed to his channel one day, and like I saw the guy and he was building like crawler stuff. I'm like, who the hell is this? So I go back in all his videos and realize that like 7 years ago he stopped posting derby videos because he stopped doing it, and then started doing like crawler stuff and everything. But
Dustin, they posted it's on YouTube. It's 10 Duro, like the number 10 DURO. I think the whole point of the 10 Duro thing is going to be like a very scale, like endurance type thing, where you go out, you have all your tools, spare batteries, anything you're going to need for your truck is on the truck. You go out and they're doing, I don't know, like 5K, 10K type
yeah,
things.
I don't know that I like carrying the tools and my batteries on the truck.
Yeah.
That seems a little crazy. But I do like when people do, like you have to have a full-size spare, and at checkpoint, 3, you have to swap it to an actual, like, you have to change the tire and put your spare on the truck.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a cool option, because it keeps people from going, oh, it's a full-size spare, and using, like, the lightest piece of shit old axial tire you could find.
Yep.
Because then you're going to be hindered by what you have on there. So I think that part's kind of cool.
I don't know if I haven't watched the last couple episodes, just because I've been working in the office the last 2 weeks. But they kind of touch on like their plan for Tenduro a little bit in each episode or so. But a lot of it's them talking about like some of the places that they've been and like their adventures and
Yeah. They're actually both really good guys. And what's crazy is, I guess this makes us sound very old. We watched them go from kids that were hacking together stuff to they're actually building tube chassis now. I know Lucas is tigging his, and he's making some really cool looking stuff. So that's been really cool to watch. Not that London isn't making, but just in general. The last buggy that I saw Lucas make, that he made for Ronnie, was freaking awesome.
oh, the CJ
Yeah,
thing.
that thing was super freaking
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, but the actual number instead of the spelling
Yeah,
of 10.
10, like
10.
1 0. 1 0 DURO.
Yep. If not, Dustin, I don't know if you're friends with him, either one of them on Facebook, but London shares all the videos.
Yeah.
And then they've also got a page on Facebook that I think they post the YouTube videos on.
They were right beside him at
Right.
Beats Creek, right? Yeah. So they did a little name drop for you a couple times.
Yep.
Talked about
Yeah, I really only watch it just so I can hear them talk about me. No, I'm kidding.
it's funny. That's funny.
No, but it's decent, decent content.
I've thought about switching this kind of thing over to a podcast, because I think you and Doug and I, or you and Logan and I, or you and I, however it ended up being for the week, I think we could sit here and just shoot the shit for an hour. Like theirs is only like an hour long, whatever. But I just don't want to plan ahead that far. Like of this is what we're going to talk about today, etc.
I really appreciate that they talk to their editing guy, Lenny.
Yeah.
It's clearly just London.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, some of the people they mention, and don't mention his name, I wonder if we know
Yeah, I don't know.
this Mutter Putter guy. I
Yeah,
wonder if we know him.
we probably do,
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
but I'm not sure.
especially between the two of us, we've got to know most people around the state. Hell, not even the state, but just
I mean, it's kind of a big area.
well, It's not like there's 10,000 of us. It's not like there's a lot of us that are gonna go by a name. You know what I'm saying? Of not like this is James, but going, oh, this is Mutter Putter. Like,
This is Nilla Bear.
hey,
Nilla Bear out.
hey, you're well known enough to do that.
Dustin said to keep it interactive if possible. He really likes that part.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things that crosses your mind whenever you see other people doing it. You know, could I do that? Like, would that make it easier on me? But then, I also feel like, this helps you and I, and Doug, but in general, whoever's here, it helps us interact with the people that are watching
Yeah.
versus the people that are watching, always consistently watching us. So I feel like I know some of these guys, even though I don't, at least a little bit better than just a screen name, you know?
Right. Also, good evening, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
We are about to get off here, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we said that 20 minutes ago, and then
Yeah.
we're still sitting here.
Ryan said he also really enjoys watching semi-truck drag racing.
When they race with the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, up the hill.
Yeah, I like that part. I don't think I could watch it live, because I think anything else is kind of like just, I don't know. Some of that shit's just boring. There's a lot of that downtime.
Take it easy, Joey.
Later, man. Anything with a lot of downtime, I'm tapped. I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
That's when I pick up my phone and do something else.
Yeah, there's that too. Like Doug was talking about going, and there's 3 hours of sitting, and then you play for 10 minutes, and then you're done for the day. Like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle that. You ready to call this?
I'm done.
All right. All right, we're actually going to get off here now. Podcast gives you flexibility to record any day of the week, but adds production and still release on time. But I'm biased. I like the live interactive as well. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like I said, I like this. If I
And like, can we sit here and shoot the shit with each other for an hour and talk about random things?
easily, for sure.
But is it a lot easier to talk about things if? And there's a lot of times you guys bring up stuff that
Yeah.
you're like, oh, and that is a 30-minute tangent.
Yeah, I was gonna say the nice part about doing it this way is we really only have to have something to talk about for 15 minutes. By the time everybody rolls in, and unlike tonight where there's usually a lot more.
Or nobody rolled in.
Yeah, nobody rolled. Well, they rolled in, then rolled back out. But everybody's bringing up stuff, and we talk about something, and oh, did you see this? Like whatever.
Yeah.
And we talk about real car stuff. And we talk about this and that. And we talk about dessert and dinner, and being lactose intolerant or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So, all right, I'm gonna try to get out of the house before 9:35. So, all right,
Much appreciated.
no problem. Okay, bye. And wabbits. All right.
Until next time.
Till next time, maybe Monday, maybe next Monday, who knows. All right, I will see you guys later.
Okay, bye. Make sure to hit the thumbs up on your way out.
Thumbs up and stuff, all 6 of you.
Hey, we have as many thumbs up as we had people.
Heyo. Winning.